go wild and start shouting and clapping for you to fight your way back. It's basketball. So when you have a fourth quarter where you had just 1 or 2 points scored in a 12-minute period, then that's the superlative poor performance from the team in the fourth quarter. And so where were the big boys? Where were the leaders? Where was the coach? The Malian coach, Kante, he was rallying his boys with 5 points, 7 points. He was calling for timeout. He was gingering on that touchline. The players were giving themselves high fives. And you could see that the spirit was high on the part of the Malians. But Nigeria, there was no leader. There was nobody to psych up the boys. And it was as if we were as flat as anything you could have ever expected. This is the fruit of our labor. What's the labor? The labor of last year or thereabouts, where we had a self-imposed ban on basketball, where we made sure that we rubbished the performance and the hard work of the girls who qualified for Serbia FIBA Women's World Cup. We rubbished the performance of the guys who for the first time take pride in wearing the green and white and will do anything for Nigerian basketball even though when they get little or nothing in return. We rubbish the passion these boys used to bring in here to host competition. Even Precious Achunwa has been in town. He has been in town, you know, and he's even one of those people who are supposed to be closer. We're supposed to be closer to the federation or to Nigeria than anyone else because he's lived in Nigeria for a very long time before he finally got a big break in the US. But if a man like Precious Achunwa will join the rest of the field to say no, I'm not going for this competition, then it tells you the rift that exists between the federation and the players. To me, it was not enough to just say we have reinstated basketball. It would have gone a further step to call all the aggrieved parties, tender an apology. Oh, for this FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup you missed, we are sorry. But we had an issue we had to sort out. Guys, please, we have put things in place. We want to move forward. But all those things weren't done. It's as if nothing happened. And Sunday Dara is somewhere chilling. At least for at least a few more months and a few more years, we won't see press releases from Sunday Dara himself.
All right, Uzo. Now, documented, the administration have their own issues, right? But here's the thing: in that game yesterday, there are 4 quarters in a basketball game, and Nigeria led in 3 out of that 4. Going into the 4th quarter, Nigeria was leading 8-point lead by the Tigers, and now in just about 3 minutes or thereabout left, to be played, Mali had a 16-0 run. What that means is, in that period of time, like Eva mentioned, Nigeria registered no points
for 5 minutes plus,
and that was what eclipsed everything. You succumbed to 8 points lead in the 4th quarter after leading the entirety of the first 3 quarters. And you went straight to concede 16 points without registering no one. Should we still blame the administration for that one?
Well, I think it should go both sides, but I think the bulk of the blame should go to the administration because
why?
Because you needed to have.
Did you expect Musa Kida to stand up at that point and go into the court and throw the bucket for you?
You needed to have players with tough mentality. Right? Okay, let me just take you back. Remember what happened in the Premier League last season? Arsenal led to a particular point and then they lost it. I mean, for the Premier League race. You know why? Because some of these players do not have that tough mentality of winning. You understand? Now, coming into the basketball, the big boys, some of them are not there because they are not happy with what have happened. The way they were treated as if they are nothing, as if they do not have a stake when it comes to basketball playing. Because these are men that are on top of their games, especially when it comes to the US. They are doing very, very well. So some of the people you went there with are not names that we know. So how would they be able to carry on? Because there are some players that when they're on that pitch, they're giving their all. In the court, they're giving their all. They make sure that whatever they've gotten remains, and they are hungry to get more. But when you go in there without players, with players that do not have that tough mentality, They might be winning from the first, second, and third quarter. When it comes to the fourth one, they might start feeling that we've already gotten it, and then they won't put in their all again. And you see the opponents doing very well. So I think the bulk of the blame should go to the administration, because, like Eva said, it shouldn't just end at bringing back basketball. It should have been done in a way that individually all players should have been met to come back. Not even calling a meeting for them to come. You don't even have to call a meeting, because it's as if you are above them in everything. You have to contact them individually and apologize to them, and maybe give them something that will give them the morale to come back. There are some things you can tell them that, okay, if you do this, or if you come back, this will be offered to you. Anything you want, we will give it to you, or we'll provide them for you. You see them turning up back to come back. So I just feel that the bulk of the blame must and should go to the administration, not really the guys.
Eva, now here's the thing. For once, I like facing matters head on when they happen. I like picking exactly where the matter lies and at the moment and face it, because I'll always say that in Nigeria we've had series of years with administrative issues, and one way or the other, the Nigerian teams will always find a way to prosper. The Tigers will be an instant example. The 4 pits, I think for the Tigers, it was even shorter than for the Tigers, because when was the coach appointed? Just about a couple of weeks before the tournament proper, Rena Wakama was appointed. She assembled the girls in just about a week and took them to deliver an Afro-Basket title the 4th time consecutively for Nigeria. Ogododo has been with this team. The Afro-Can was was the coach in charge of the Afro-Can and all. So at what point do we blame the players and maybe the coaches as well?
Well, I feel there's something we need to realize. Firstly, the women's game is the women's game. The men's game is the men's game. There's a reason why men's sport is quite different. It's more vigorous. It's more enterprising. It's swift. It's fast, and so quality. If you drop a level in your quality, you pay dearly. You definitely will pay dearly, because the players that are coming in here for Mali, for Senegal, are also top level players. They're also players who are possibly playing their trade in Europe, or their leagues are thriving so well that you'll be shocked about the kind of quality that they put up. A certain Diarra yesterday was everywhere. Dumal also for the Malian side was also everywhere for the Malian team yesterday. But I looked at our team. Nuga, one of the players, had just a point in the whole game, and at some point we were robbed off of quality. We're going for the 3-point shots. We're going for the 2-point shots. Even free throws, we weren't making it. That's what you get when there's no quality. Yes, we led at some point by 8 points, but the Malians were closing the gap. We see a 6-point lead for Nigeria. Before you turn, it's 57 all. Before you turn, it's 32 all. So that was what happened in the game. It's not that we had a total control of the game, that we led for a very long time. No. As we lead, they closed the gap, narrow it to a 2-point game, a 3-point game, and that was how the game went. It was more like a seesaw until that 4th quarter where they just blew us out of water. The thing I'm trying to say is this: on that court yesterday, I feel the guys were deflated. They gave up. The backroom staff, there was nobody on that touchline shouting instructions. Basketball is
that's what I'm asking. How do we, or at what point do we channel the blame, say, on the coach? Because you just talked about the touchline. It's not going to be players at the touchline, or it's not even going to be Musa Kida or members of the MBBF at the touchline. It's the coach and his technical crew. So at what point does the coach, for instance, take the blame for Nigerian national teams, basketball, football, wherever they may be? At what point does the players take the blame? Recall the Nigerian game against Ghana. It felt like the players were more or less more tired than the Ghanaians who were playing, and they were playing at home.
Yes.
So at what point does the players take the blame and realize that for this particular one, we messed up?
See, I've said it already in my opening remarks that it is in parts. Some parts to the players, some parts to the coaches, but the bulk of the blame has to go to the federation. If you had a united federation, we won't be begging players to come. We won't go to pick up new names on the roster. We would have gone in there to pick our trusted names, the warriors of this world. some of our big boys coming in from the NBA would have come here to represent us, but we had relatively unknown players that I had to scratch my head to see their name tags to quite understand where they are coming from. And it was strange because I didn't know the characteristics of, apart from Chimeze Metu and Irebu that I am so familiar with, I was struggling to keep up with some of the players I saw yesterday. So possibly lack of experience, because in that fourth quarter, I keep on saying, when you make a shot, you see the high fives in basketball. When you do a dunk, sometimes it spurs you up. It's basketball we're talking about. It's the ginger that drives you forward that makes you play so well. They were playing under pressure, 3 points, 2 points, free throws. They were not getting it. It was hitting the rim and back. And we're not picking the offensive rebounds. Defensively as well, we're not also picking it. Then we're drawing fouls unnecessarily. So that is where experience comes in. That's where leader comes in. That's where the coaching comes in. And we lacked all that because we did something wrong last year that made some players and some officials angry.
Let's move on. Let's know what you think about the loss yesterday. Where do you channel the blame to? Like I said, the Tigers led in the first 3 quarters. In fact, in this fourth quarter, they were still leading with 8 points, but they surrendered all of that, and the Malians went on a 16-0 run to eclipse things and eventually win that one. So at what point does the players or the coaches take the blame, in as much as they've been administrative issues? So Nigeria will not be at next year's Olympic tournament for the first time since Beijing Olympics in 2008. Not early hours of today, but this morning, it was England with a 3-1 win over Australia at the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup. England drew first blood as Ella Tony at the 36 minutes called home a superb effort as the Matildas conceded their first World Cup goal since the second group game against Nigeria, a run of well over 5 hours. Australia saw their talismanic captain Sam Kerr return to the first 11, and she had her inevitable say in proceedings in the 63rd minute, hammering a sensational effort home from around 25 yards. But England's tournament's pedigree began to shine through, and of course, the smile will last just little in the face or on the face of the Matildas as Lauren Hem in the 71st minute saw the Lionesses back ahead soon after, before Alessia Russo in the 86th minute made sure of their spot in Sunday's showpiece final against Spain. Worthy to be here, not worthy to be here. Super Falcons would have been the one here, and all the school of thoughts that might come up. England against Spain. That's the final. But first off, what do you make of their performance against the Matildas?
It's tournament. It's a tournament performance. Why do I say so? You don't need to be fantastic, quote and unquote. What you need to do is to be effective. So you can record 3 points in a group game. If there's a place for a best loser, you scrape in through the back door. You play a knockout, drag your opponent to extra time, penalty shootout, you win it. Quarterfinal, you do the same thing, get to the semis. 2016 Euros, Portugal won it. They had 3 points, that's 3 draws. Qualified as best losers. They won just 1 game in 7 in regulation time. And that was the game against Wales in the semi-final when they beat Wales by 2-0. Other games, they scrapped through penalties and extra time. That's for Portugal. But they won it. You know, so it's tournament football. Nobody wants to know how you get there, but just get there. My lecturer will tell you that there are so many ways to kill a rat. You can poison it, you can match it, you can stone it. As far as the rat dies, that's what we want to see. England today, they were rattled. There were some points they had their backs on the ropes, like when you see a boxer, he's been caught with a left hook, and the offensive boxer is going for a kill, and he's doing the combination to send him down finally. Sometime England found themselves in that situation, but experience shone through. They cleared their lines. They were compact. They played with some high level of football IQ, and when they got their chance at the other end, they made it count. Yes, Sam Kerr was a star for the Australians with a beautiful long-range shot, which may even be voted for goal of the tournament. But again, she was the culprit. 2 big chances to have made it 2-2. The second one, which she missed, was so few minutes away from that, a counter-attack at the other end, and Russo made it 3. So it was a game of fine margins, but you have to give it to the Australians. I sit back today watching that game, and I'm like, for the first time, I think what would have been for Nigeria Nigeria rattled this England team. We had them where we wanted them to be. A man advantage. Tactics was out of the waters for them. Their coach didn't know what to do. Their best player off. All their players were off day. No chances created. But we didn't find a way to win.
Now, why?
I don't know. Tiny margins like this, quality-wise, these are where the big teams and the big players, come to show themselves.
Right.
But congratulations to England, deserving. That's why you wouldn't take that run for a ride. They had over 30-something game unbeaten run before they were beaten by Australia in a friendly match heading into the tournament. Since, look at their run at the Euros, now look at their run again to the final, a major one at that. It's no fluke.
All right.
It's really consistent and intentional effort by the FA.
Spain, England, your take. Who wins? I know there's going to be further build up today, but let's just do it.
I'm going to give it to Spain. Reason being that Spain just plays like the national team, but I know that if England goes with another approach, like the Japanese women did, and if the female Spain team do not take correction of what happened then, because in that match they played the game. They were in possession of the ball, but Japanese women were scoring.
Tiki-taka was
you understand?
Out of the window.
Yes, Tiki-taka was how did they say that one? Tiki-taka was
Tiki-taka in the mud.
No, in the mud. Tiki-taka was in the mud. So I think this England team, Nigeria was able to, open whatever they've been covering, and so many teams coming to play them might have that mentality of we can win these people. But like what with what Eva said, you're coming to the game with a tough mentality too.
All right.
If we go try this game, go penalty, let's do it. All we want to do is to win. Anyhow way you be, if you like, play us. If we like, we play you. All we just want at the tail end is to win this game. So if Spain is coming to this match, they should not come up with that tiki-taka kind of football again. They should just allow the English women play the game and let them see how to score, because coming that tiki-taka game, these girls, Lauren James is coming back, and if you don't mark her again like the Nigeria did to her, she's going to do
what
wonders.
makes you think that Lauren James is going to be that effective, after staying 2 matches out? But Ival, before you add to what you want to add, Serena Vickman took over this team some months before the Euro.
Yes.
I think about 10 months or 9 months, if I'm not mistaken, she delivered the Euro. And at the moment, she is at the verge of delivering the first FIFA Women's World Cup for England. It's 50-50 right now. Spain can win it. England can win it. What do we say about Randy Waldrum again?
Impact. That's what I would say about Randy Waldrum. Impact as well, because at the moment, you look at the job he's done, especially in this tournament. There are a few people who just couldn't, but swallow what they had to say and things they had to write against him. And that's the truth about it. He really proved his critics wrong because of the way the women played.
Well, he's not in the semis.
No, he's not in the semis. He's fine margins.
And just like you mentioned,
he's fine margins.
Don't you think? Let's say Serena Vickman was the coach of the Falcons.
Yes.
Don't you think she would have buried that game? Because Nigeria had 2 chances to bury that game.
But he didn't have the quality.
This is more like, was it about the quality?
Yes, quality.
Are you saying that
Mitchell and Lozzi on the left-hand side, you rush the shots.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that the Lionesses have better quality on the pitch of play than Nigeria? Is that what you're saying?
In terms of their attackers, definitely, even in the midfielders and defense line. See,
are you for real?
See, what we did was that we were physically imposing. Then we played with some bit of determination, but there were times whereby your quality had to shine through a bit more.
Now here's the thing. Nigeria had 2 clear chances to bury that game. This is like crying over spilled milk, but something ought to be done if there's going to be a way forward. First chance was a woman down. Second chance was England missed their first penalty. But Nigeria couldn't bury that game.
We've seen penalty being missed time and time. For example, the game between France and
no, it's not about penalties being missed. It's about the avenues open to the team. Anybody can miss penalty these days. Football standard is rated. It's rated after Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, and these 2 players have missed penalties, right? Anybody can miss, but it's about the opportunities open to you.
Yes, the same opportunity between France and Australia. I saw 2 windows open for France, 2 windows open for Australia as well. And win, let's score, let's go. You missed. Score, let's go too. You missed. Score, let's go. We missed. So it's like it's fine margins. It's how can you keep up with the pressure on the day? How can you keep calm and slot in a winning penalty? It was a record penalty shootout that game between France and Australia in that particular quarterfinal. Now for Nigeria, there's a few things we need to understand. Now I'm looking at that team and I'm asking myself, we supposed to we had a talisman, a marksman, a top player, the player that you use as our poster girl in the tournament. Well, didn't live up to the billing. Those are the kind of players that shine through for various other teams.
Which of them shone through for England?
We've seen what Sam Kerr has been able. What's her name again? Who got suspended? Was able to do. Russo herself has got 3 goals in this competition. The United striker was going to Arsenal,
but she's not the go-to woman for England. If you want to talk about marksman,
Ben Mead is injured. A woman we turned down, who was signing a record move from United from United to Arsenal, £500,000 last season. She rejected that move and went on a free transfer. That would have been a record signing in the women's game as she had gone. Had she gone last season? You know, that was now the player they looked up to this particular competition. And Russo has scored 3 goals so far in this tournament. So Chloe Kelly as well has been their last minute winner in terms of penalty shootouts and in terms of winning goals. During the Euro, she scored the winning goal against Germany. Against Nigeria, she buried the winning penalty. So those are the players that are expected to step up. And boy, they did step up. Stanway in midfield as well. Bright, Bronze. Look at what they've been able to do. And they've been outstanding players.
Names of players that more or less have took on the competition. They were on the competition as the competition progressed. But if you're looking at a marksman, like you mentioned, for instance, Sam Kerr,
yes,
from Australia, maybe Thembi Gatlana for South Africa, what's her name? Oshola for Nigeria. And I'm saying these are the go-to ladies, the go-to women for their respective teams. But for England, who was that go-to? If you want to paint and put Nigeria's case on the expected name didn't show up, who did? Who is that go-to woman in that Three Lionesses team that did shine in that match?
For the Three Lionesses team, they didn't have a go-to player.
So you don't have to put it on the go-to player.
Half of the players, which they would have kept their hopes on, from Liam Williamson to Bedmead to the Chelsea's captain, they all went out injured.
So that means you don't have to put Nigeria's what's the word now, case on a go-to player.
Now, in the tournament, when you now come there, you have to be a go-to player. And a new go-to player is Chloe Kelly, as well as, what's their name again? Russo. And both players have delivered so far in the tournament. Because the burden of winning matches lies in what you can do at the other end of the box.
All right.
Which they've also proven that. And we also had one who also erupted the tournament in James. So you now do, if you do the poster tomorrow for the final, James Trace will be there. So she's now the go-to girl for the team.
All right, let's know what you think. So it's going to be England against Spain at the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Well,
you want to give it to England?
No, I'm not giving it to England. Sadly, I'm giving it to the Spanish national team because even the Swedish coach, after the game yesterday, did say that he would love to see Spain win it. And that style of football, that brand of football, that confidence in play, has been something very, very exhilarating. And I want to see how they can face a very stubborn and coordinated England defense. Bright, Carter, as well as Bronze in the three-woman back line have been quite solid. The goalkeeper Mary Epps was a difference today. If she wasn't up to standard, possibly Australia would have clawed their way back into that game. But Spain, I feel they will just have enough quality to create some more chances.
Here's the SMS and WhatsApp portal in the meantime, 0701-933-9962. Before we return to the phone lines to take your reactions, and before we come to the phone lines, it's not like we've been there since the start of the show, so we're going to come back to it. But this time around, the Super Cup is going to come up later tonight between Manchester City and Villarreal, Sevilla, beg your pardon, winners of the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Europa League. But before then, let's talk about the English Premier League and captains of some teams, as the implementation of new harsher rules for decent, time-wasting and general unsportsmanlike behavior is likely to see a significant upsurge in costs this season, We've already seen players and managers, for that matter, getting to grips with the zero tolerance guidelines. In total, across 2023/2024's opening round, there were 43 cards dished out, with Newcastle's 500 drubbing of Aston Villa witnessing the most bookings, with 4 for each team. This places it firmly in top spot when taking into account the past 5 seasons, and 13 cards ahead of the 30 bookings seen in the 2022/2023 and 2019/2020 season. This raises questions on Manchester United's captain Bruno Fernandes, who is well known for complaints even when he wasn't the captain of the team. Some are asking, how many cards for Bruno Fernandes this season? Because who was on the floor? Was it Harvey Elliott was on the floor?
No, McAllister.
McAllister.
He was signaling
referee. That's and if you look at
give
it,
us something.
you want to believe that it was a yellow card offense.
It was,
and he himself was given a yellow card. I mean, McAllister, who complained. So the question now here is, for United, how long do you see Bruno Fernandes lasting as a Manchester United captain? Because there's a part of the rule that says that if you accumulate 5 yellow cards inside the first 19 matches of the season, you're suspended for a match.
If there's any rule they should review, it is this one, because everybody will fall into the same trap. It's not going to be only Bruno Fernandes. But clubs are sitting down. They are speaking sense to their players. They are telling them about the rules. The first man who suffered it was, I think it's an Arsenal player, Thomas Partey, in the Charity Shield. Then his coach Arteta received his not a short while after that particular card was dished out. So it's one rule I feel will be done with before we even enter match day 10. Why am I saying this? Ex-players will protest, players will protest, coaches will protest. The game is not robotic. The game is emotional. That's why people pay to watch the Premier League. That's why there's so much passion in the game at the end of the day. So this particular rule is one I did not buy at all, because we're going to see some very aimless cards shown to players. It's natural for you to flare your arms up when your shirt is being tucked. It's natural for you to ask for that card. It's natural. So I feel this is one rule that should be done with. They should have a review of it quickly. 43 cards in the opening weekend of football compared to 13 and 30 the previous weekends, with other additional changes to the rules. It is not going to help the Premier League. Instead, we're going to see more red cards, more suspension or accumulated suspension, and it's not going to help the quality of the league at the end of the day. So for Fernandes, possibly he will learn how to shut up. Maybe we're holding his mouth when he's running.
Maybe United will consider him as a captain.
No. You have to. Even if you don't give Fernandes captain, he will still shout. They will look for him like, well, I'll give it to him.
Okay.
But it's not just him. It's almost every player.
If you go in post, then they shout for impost.
All right. For Chelsea, well, their first 2 choice captains were out of the Liverpool game injured. Reece James and Ben Chilwell all sidelined and couldn't complete the match. It left more experienced Thiago Silva to wear the arms band as the 3rd choice captain. It wasn't difficult to notice the disappointment on Silva's face as he took the arms band from Ben Chilwell. How wise was it to name Reece James and Ben Chilwell as first and assistant captain when there is Thiago Silva in the team for Chelsea?
Well, someone said, and I know I told Eva sometime, I said it's just as if he knew that Thiago Silva would still lead the team most of the time, so he decided to give it to these 2 guys, since Chelsea now seemed like a young squad, so he just wanted to give it to someone within that range, and then later on the main person that he had in mind will still continue. But when you follow so many Chelsea groups on social media, I mean open group chats, you will see that majority of Chelsea fans, they said they wanted a Thiago Silva to be assisted by Reece James, because he's someone that has that mentality of winning. Also, he has been in the game for so many years, and with his age now, you have the capacity to lead. If you watch that game against Liverpool in the second half, it was Thiago Silva that was dishing that instruction to Reece James. If you watch very well, he was one talking to Reece James. Now, I saw so many memes that came out. They said when James wants to give an instruction, he tells Thiago Silva, sit down, I want to talk. How Thiago Silva react to him? I know Thiago Silva is not a boy, though. He knows what to do at every given point. But you needed someone that has that experience, the fatherly figure also, the person that, because if you watch Thiago Silva very, very, very well, he's also someone that has that determination in the team. Even his wife, just as if she's one of the persons that keeps him going in the team. So I wanted the fact that I was not really happy though when I saw that he was sidelined. But we don't know how it is now, but it's still back to his hands. So I think he can still continue. So that's why the person that said that is as if he knew already that Thiago Silva will still lead for the better part of the season. So it's now with him. He should lead the team. And then I'm very sure that Chelsea will not have an issue with Thiago Silva being the man for now on that role.
For Tottenham, Hivalidu, it's Son Heung-min, but there's already a proven captain in that team who is Hugo Lloris, captain of the French national team.
Well, Hugo Lloris is heading out of that team. He's also lost his place. A certain Vicario was in goal this weekend, and the man was given permission not to travel with them for their pre-season. Instead, sit down and look for a new club. I heard he's going to the Italian Serie A. Lazio has been rumored to be one of the teams interested in his signature. But Son Heung-min, he's paid his dues, and if you look at the squad, he's one of the oldest heads in that squad. Apart from maybe a certain Davison Sanchez in defense, I don't think there's any player who is older than Son Heung-min in that squad presently at Tottenham. So that leaves the captain materials to just 3 players. Romero, who starts because Davison Sanchez doesn't start for Tottenham Hotspur, so you can't give a man who sits on the bench your captain's armband. A certain Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is also a captain material in my own eyes. Then you have Son Heung-min. On the balance of play of how much he contributes to the team and how loyal he's been with the team as well, because offers have been coming for him from Saudi Arabia, I feel it's a wise choice from Angel Postecoglou to have handed the South Korean that captain armband. He's experienced enough and he knows how to lead from the front. All
right, so it's about time to bring you into the conversation, starting from basketball to the FIFA Women's World Cup. And now I'm asking the question surrounding the captain choices of Manchester United and Chelsea, as there were 43 cards dished out just match day 1 in the English Premier League. That was 13 more than what was dished out last season in match day 1. And of course, contributing more to those cards were complaints from players and their managers, leading to that surge in yellow cards. And Bruno Fernandes is always a culprit of that. So a bit on, by the way, Harry Maguire stays, like I mentioned. Chelsea are bringing Michael Olise. We hear that he will be snubbing Manchester City to go to Chelsea. And like I said, I don't know what Chelsea is doing for these young stars that they are more or less bent on going to Chelsea. Romeo Lavia, Liverpool had 2 shots and they missed both of them, and Chelsea had 2 shots and those shots were on target in Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. Just imagine that Chelsea midfield with these guys. So imagine Sterling on one side and maybe Olise on the other side. I'm playing fantasy Chelsea Premier League team at the moment. City, Sevilla, who wins?
It's a tough one to call now that you have Kevin De Bruyne out. I don't know how that City team will look like. I wasn't really convinced about their performance against Arsenal and against Burnley, but it's a City team. Pep Guardiola always think and overthinks his tactics. Spanish team exciting, City exciting. Football wins.
Hey, who wins?
I will surely give it to City.
Okay.
City wins.
All right. So 0817 0000951 and 0701 933 9962. The number I just called is the SMS and WhatsApp portal, right? The other one for the phone line is 0810 9510 951. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is no protocol. I call you from Rumipo.
Go ahead.
I think the issue of the card, no matter how we look at it, I support it, I endorse the card, and I accept it. If you notice, even as that, when they know that these people are after them because of delay and what have you, The car did not come only by complaint. It come by delay. You hold ball and stand on the touchline. Wolves player. He did it twice before the referee now gave him the first card. Alexander Arnold did it in Liverpool. You hold the ball. 11 players on the pitch. You don't know who to throw the ball to. You keep standing and romance the ball, turn the ball, dance the ball. I don't understand. People money is at stake. Football has become something else. It's a money making in diverse ways. But many things follow football now. Not the time for excitement alone. So they that are playing the football, I don't know. It's like they are not aware of what is following football these days. So you waste the whole time, you bounce the ball. So I accept that card. They should be given. They are human beings. It's not issue of being robotic. If there must be discipline in everything that somebody is doing, and you cannot follow the rules of the game that you are playing, rule of where you are working, you quit the job. It's simple as that.
All right.
Players went down a lot. They complain a lot. Imagine a McAllister. He fell down. You don't allow referee to judge. You do have like this. Give him card. Are you teaching me? If I'm referee, I return the card to you. It's normal thing that's supposed to be done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, enough for the copy. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Mr. Barry from Victoria.
Go ahead, Mr. Barry.
I want to quickly say that your guest said one question that they don't give captain to who is sitting on the bench. Why is Ahmed Musa for like 3 years now? You see our captain sitting down on the bench. Then lastly, I want to say that why giving Ben Chilwell and Chris James England captain, Chelsea captain is that they are English soil. It's not for no reason. You cannot see a Thiago Silva and you give captain band to the James. So my take is that I want to ask your guest that why is Ahmed Musa putting on our captain band and be on the bench for 3 years now? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hi, good afternoon. I hear Gary.
Greetings, Reliance.
Greetings, Lawson. Lawson, I hear Gary. I hear Lawson. I hear Gary.
No problem now. But how do I get it to you? I have to find a way to post you down.
Lawson, let's have a contribution. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. Greetings. I agree this.
Good afternoon, Lawson. Welcome.
Seriously, Reliance. It's the people who take shortcuts do not get to their destination most times. When you chose to ride on the back of a tiger to quickly get to a destination ahead of others, just know that you will end up in the belly of that tiger. It should not surprise anybody when it comes to basketball. I'm talking basketball now. Just as Ibal has said, the administrators honestly are a problem. Where is basketball in Nigeria? Where most of these smaller African countries, look at it, their leagues are very strong. Their leagues are good. Here, if we don't get the Americans, it's a problem. Anytime we don't get the Americans, we can't play. Why? So when you don't develop anything, then nothing will happen. No preparation. So even the Tigers that they were displaying, that is American quality. Make no mistake about it. It's American quality, and they showed it. Nobody from Africa here could challenge them. But here, what do we develop? What have we built? Nothing. And you want to see, let me tell you, with time, I am telling you, it will even get worse than this. And the England girls, you see, what keeps them going? That's their defense. Our girls could not break that. They are compact, they are reliant. They are very, watch them. They are compact. It's difficult to break them down. And that's what I fear against that match going into that game with Spain. I am telling you, that defense may probably get them that world title. I don't know, but it's football. It's 50-50, just as you have said. But the England girls, that their defense is the key, and that is what they have been using to progress down to the final. But let's see how far it goes. Right. I think it will be an interesting game. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawson, for contributing. Eva, why is Ahmed Musa Nigeria's captain?
Well, we used to have that time now, 1960. Parliamentary system of government.
Wait,
prime minister.
Wait. Who's that? That time now, 1960. Now you go tap Uzo.
Now we have a ceremonial president.
Were you there before?
No. But the thing is that we used to have a ceremonial captain, and Ahmed Musa
is
a
ceremonial captain.
Just like when we had Festus Austin, who is now the team coordinator of Rivers United. He suffered a horrific leg break, and throughout that season, he was nursing that injury. He was still the captain of the side.
Okay.
He followed them for every trip, cycling the boys up in the dressing room, but he wasn't able to play. So the likes of I don't know who was there, but was it Bubeduru or who was holding that captain armband at the time? Okay, the captain armband was rotating, and Mekai, Nwagwa, and the rest were all wearing the armband. Maurice Chukwu and the rest. So I feel Ahmed Musa is our oldest player, so ceremonial captain. But in terms of who plays and who wears the armband, it's William Troost-Ekong.
From the SMS portal, Chelsea is the home of black players. England, the cup will never come home. Up Spain. I don't know whether you say that during the Women's Euro because the cup came home. See what Liverpool cost? Sadio Mane, black players love you. Pep, Yaya Toure, forgive you. JK. England, I said, until you apologize to Africa, the great Spain we are going through now, no cup for you. They don't win Euro. The girls are wise. That is why James was injured. Silva take the arms ban. I hope you meant to write. Silva takes the arms ban, Jari. Senior man, your name is JK. All the messages I've read came in from one person. This one says, good. Okay, good morning all. So certainly not for me. This one says, good afternoon, sports gang. Angels, Saicedo, and Lavia. Chelsea now have one of the most young, talented midfielders in the world, and it isn't even debatable. Frank from Eneka. How about Real Madrid?
Out about it.
Chouameni,
Camavinga, Valverde, Bellingham,
and then Bellingham.
Well, the only thing I see there is height. Very tall players, because Chouameni has not risen up to the occasion just yet. Valverde, I can trust him. Camavinga has been sent out wide to play left back almost the entirety of last season. Valverde, I trust him a bit. And Bellingham, yes, is coming into the game and announcing that the £165 million deal is no fluke. But look at this Chelsea team: Moses Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez. And on the balance of play of what these players were able to do in their former club sides, you want to give them a benefit of doubt to perform here. But football is not like that; it's fickle.
All right.
They could also struggle against the midfield of Thomas Partey, Odegaard, and Rice, or Casemiro. Who else is there?
Bruno
Fernandes and Ericsson. So it's football. Anything can happen.
Good afternoon to you all. The Tigers not making it to the next year Olympic, not a good one for our country. Congratulations to English women team for making it to the final. But I see them Spain winning it. That sounded like Jamaican. I see them Spain. You know, the reggae kind of.
Awesome. There was some reggae vibes as coach of Jamaica.
With absence of Kevin De Bruyne, I don't think City will win the Super Cup tonight. Skifu Pero is your name. Thank you very much, Skifu Pero from the WhatsApp portal. Good afternoon, Mr. Reliance. I'm surprised that Eric Dyer was overlooked for the captain's arms ban at Spurs. Media from Igrita. I'm surprised too. Good evening, guys. Actually, afternoon. Reliance, I don't think you watched that Nigeria-England game. Look, to be honest with you, Nigeria prior to the red card was definitely outplayed by the Lionesses. Oga, England is not good and cannot be compared to Nigeria, hence the wide disparity in the ranking. Your thoughts? Thank you very much for sending in that one. We'll take a couple of calls and then we're out of here. 0817 00009551. Eva, please stop. And 0810 9510 SMS on WhatsApp portal 0701 933 9962. Like I said, Chelsea are exploring chances of signing Michael Olise. He has snubbed Man City for the London side, and it's understood talks will be ongoing in a bit. Hi, welcome. Hello there, somebody home? Right, surely not ready for us. Neymar completes move from PSG to Al Hilal. That shouldn't be news for you anymore. Romeo Lavia is set for Chelsea medical. And there's a player. Okay, Manchester United are looking at the chances of signing Sofiane Amrabat. There's a player that Liverpool have turned to.
Doucouré
from Crystal Palace.
And Palhinha from Fulham. Those are the two prospects right now for Liverpool.
So since they couldn't get Lavia and Caicedo, the Kure coming in, does it complement?
I feel Liverpool should look at themselves, hand in the mirror, and tell themselves some truth, because Lavia was their man to get even before they went to jump into Caicedo's bid. And did so. You have over 100. I couldn't drop 50 scenes. You were doing 45, 48, 47.
All right. Now, Bernardo Silva has agreed to sign a new 1-year contract extension with Manchester City. And with City, Aymeric Laporte, we hear, could be moving to Saudi Arabia. Understood that Hilal Nabi Al Nassr are looking at, of course, they're all owned by the PIF. Now, looking at the chances of securing him. This should be my last call on the show. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, welcome.
I call back Barry from Victoria.
Okay, make it count, please.
I want to please say that before not wasting much time, that tonight, not De Bruyne or De Bruyne, Man City will push Sevilla.
All right. Thank you. Let's leave it there. Many thanks to Ivalidu for being part of the conversation. Thanks to Uzochukwu Duma as well. We do appreciate you for the phone lines, the SMS, and the WhatsApp portal for being part of the conversation. 7:30 tomorrow morning, Sport Attack makes a return. And then later by 3 p.m., we'll have an interesting conversation from the world of sports. My name remains Reliable Reliance Udonyan. A very good evening to you. Up next, news update at 4 p.m. And we have Maxwell on standby.
See many people there outside where they feed man's oboe. Oh no, I mean I stand the defender like Joseph Yobo. My girl say she want Netflix and chill, so I chatty get even money. If you fall in love, Kelly starting. You go to breakfast, I'm not capping. Can you see dripple, I'm not catchy. I'm not faking this, no fugazi. You see these feelings, I'm not catching. I'm on quest and feet, I just want it. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you, you go right. All I get for the night. Happiness. If I broke, now my business. I'ma show you, you go right. All I get for the night.
If you be the reason why your baba wanna jealous me. If you wanna take I'm serious, I do top speed. No fit to resonate, I'm on a different frequency. I don't think it's necessary. I be done with that somebody that could do like me. When I be like Musala coming off the right wing, I cut to your defender, you no need to tell me. I'm a house, finesse. You know send me, I'm a snack. Now you can let I go carry go. If me I got money past you, if you not careful, finesse.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Thanks for joining us. Good evening. Here is the news update for 4. I am Lucky Maxwell. The Police Community Relations Committee in River State, in collaboration with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, have commenced sensitizing young people against drug abuse, especially in tertiary institutions. The River State chairman of the PCRC, Voke Emore, revealed this while speaking to newsmen after addressing the student of the Ignatius Ajuru University of Education on the need to shun hard drugs. Emore noted that addiction to hard drugs by young people has been one of the major factors behind rising crime and insecurity in the society. The federal government will tomorrow arraign the suspended Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele and his associate for 6.9 billion naira procurement fraud at the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja. Emefiele will be arraigned alongside a female CBN employee, Saadatu Yaro, and her company, April 1616 Investment Limited, on 20 charges of procurement fraud, conspiracy, and conferring corrupt advantages on his associates. The embattled Apex Bank chief, who has been in detention since he was suspended from office on June 9, 2023, is accused of conferring corrupt advantages on Yaro, a director in April 1616 Investment Limited. Former Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, has called on Nigerians not to allow themselves to be intimidated by the president or state governors. Sanusi, who is the head of the Tijaniya sect said Nigerians are not subordinate human beings because they opt to ignore politics. In a statement he issued, the former central bank governor said Nigerians would have no country to call their own if they fail to break away from the shackles of the political leaders. The Kano state government has suspended school fees increase for all private schools operating in the state. The schools are also expected to renew their operating licenses in line with Governor Abba Yusuf's policy on quality education in the state. This is coming after the special advisor to the Kano state governor on private schools, Baba Umaru, had a meeting with private school stakeholders. Umaru noted that the suspension of increment of school fee for private school is to ensure that there are no exploitations. On the foreign scene, armed mobs have attacked at least 2 churches in Punjab province's Jaramwala town, accusing 2 Christian residents of blasphemy. It comes after torn pages of the Quran were discovered near a Christian colony with alleged blasphemous content written on them. Hundreds of people armed with batons and sticks attacked the Salvation Army Church and the St. Paul Catholic Church, setting them ablaze, while another mob attacked private homes, touching them and breaking windows. The Punjab Provincial Police say the authorities are doing their best to control the mob in Jaramwala. Police also filed a report against 2 local Christian residents under Pakistan's controversial blasphemy laws. Blasphemy is a sensitive issue in Pakistan as mere accusations can lead to widespread violence. And that's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Good evening, I'm Lucky Maxwell.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Also saying,
for that station, job.
Don't worry you.
We're passionate about it.
We love talking.
We are
your number 1 talk radio station, 95.1 FM.
You may wonder why we chose to dabble into broadcasting. It is because on Today FM, we understand the right of every person and every group to fair coverage. In bringing you the news, we give you a platform to share your views. We give you a voice. Your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people, the people, the people, the people.
Okay, all right. All you need to know about this one is that
95.1 FM, such
a unique dial.
Are you tired of paying rent? Wouldn't you like to own a house of your own? Stress no further, because with just 5 million naira, you can become a proud owner of a 2-bedroom apartment and 4-bedroom smart terrace duplexes in a serene environment within GRA. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. With just 5 million naira down payment, you can say bye-bye to house rent issues. Why not start today by investing in any of our off-plan project and spread the balance within a year and 6 months? Wow. So what are you waiting for? Activate your access to luxury living by dialing 0913-888-8892 or 0706-282-4485. Don't forget, you can also invest in any of our landed properties in different locations. Pay us a visit today at Odibola House, Yenwali Surim Layout, Tumbia Extension, GRA Phase 3, Port Harcourt, or online via www.odibolaproperties.com. Follow us on social media and win big in our Big Fridays giveaway. Facebook at Odibola Property, IG Odibola Properties, and Twitter Odibola Properties.
All stands, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen, carry your paper. Them for my class. People love to spoil them plenty. Sins of these people many, so many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiply. The answer you get now waiting, they make come and they cry. The answer you get now.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to the platform on radio on your premium talk station today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. Time is 7 minutes past 4 o'clock. My name is Prince Ajibo. I'm here to give you insight in some of the news reports making the rounds. The platform on radio is a program where we come to slice up trending issues with corresponding reports. We move straight to the menu so as to bring you the headlines. Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria says hike in petrol pump price is inevitable despite federal government's assurance. Police flag off Operation Zero Crime to fight crime in Rivers State. Police and NDLEA in Rivers State collaborate to sensitize youths on dangers of drug abuse. And Federal Fire Service in Rivers State gives reason for its inability to respond to yesterday's fire incident at Mile 3 Market. The Rivers State branch of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria says the presidency's statement that it will not increase the pump price of petrol despite increased landing costs shows it lacks a basic knowledge of the economics. The state chairman of IPMAN, Joseph Obele, stated this following comments by Ajuri Ngelale, the special advisor media to President Bola Tinubu, that the petrol pump price will not increase as fuel subsidy removal remains. In a statement, Obele argued that the only way prices can remain unchanged in a sector set up being deregulated is if the federal government secretly subsidizes the additional costs as lamented by importers.
Mr. President has earlier removed petrol fuel subsidy. This implies that the commodity is now a deregulated product. Prices in any deregulated economy are not benchmarked or controlled. Rather, they are moderated by market forces. Petroleum importers have announced last week that landing cost of PMS has increased above 700 naira because of high rate of foreign exchange. Yet you are saying petrol price won't increase. That is not possible in any way. That statement from presidency can only be possible if the federal government will secretly reintroduce fuel subsidy payment for the additional cost as lamented by the importers.
The IPMAN chairman also accused the federal government of trying to hoodwink Nigerians by telling them what they want to hear in order to calm the people. He insisted that the only way government can control the price of fuel is when all of the nation's refineries are fixed and Nigeria stops importing refined products.
As long as we keep importing from the international market, then prices will reflect as such because of external elements. External elements are uncontrollable. Since no one can control such external variables, then no one has the capacity to lie to Nigerians that prices won't be increased. Can you control the Russia-Ukraine war or control the foreign exchange rate that is affecting prices of PMS? If the answer is no, then you cannot control PMS price in Nigeria because we are currently importing from the international market. The earlier we repair Nigeria's own refineries, then we can locally control the price of PMS.
All right, and on to talking point now. What do you make of the position, the statement of the IPMAN chairman in Rivers State vis-a-vis that of President Bola Tinubu? Of course, he did speak yesterday through his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. Let's quickly take a listen to that before I bring you in on the conversation.
Back to their most recent threat. We believe that the threat was premature and that there is a need on all sides to ensure that fact-finding and diligence is done on what the current state of the downstream and midstream petroleum industry is before any threats or conclusions are arrived at or issued. Secondly, Mr. President wishes to assure Nigerians, following the announcement by the NNPC Limited just yesterday, that there will be no increase in the pump price of petroleum motor spirit anywhere in the country.
Okay, is there something the government is hiding? Okay, they're not totally true. I mean, being honest with the situation and going by the argument of the IPMAN chairman. What do you think is happening here? And the numbers to call to be a part of the show are 0817-0000-951, 0810-951-0951, and 0701-9339-962. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon. Prince Ajibo.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show. Your name and location, please.
Robin Maja the Summer. I'm calling from the show.
All right.
Yes, the chairman of IPMAN River State is very correct.
Okay. Okay, you agree with him?
By my assessment as a layman, the most confused company in the world as we speak today is NNPC of Nigeria. The most confused company in the whole world. You're laughing.
Okay, yeah. You're sure they're confused? Some people believe it's deliberate.
The most confused company.
Okay.
You see, it's very unfortunate. But they think they are the smartest people. They think those who talk for the government or the government of India are the smartest people. But the more they talk, the more they throw or they drag their leg into the muddy and stinking waters. We watch them and see how it goes. But I know that one day the egg is going to break in their hands.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I remember the
All right, thank you. It's taking forever for that egg to break. Hello, good afternoon to you. Okay. Sorry about that. 0817-0000-951. 010-951-0951 and 0701-9339-962 for your messages. Hello?
Hello, Adela, good evening.
You're welcome. Muriel?
Thank you, Muriel, the Africa woman.
Of course.
You know, Adela, listening to the spokesperson to the president, I just like I said in your sister station, look, when these people come out and smash, because they feel that they've mastered their politics and good English, they'll just come and spew anything they like on us. Knowing that we attended the same schools with them, those that even attended school classes with them, they are even coming out first in class. And in the same Nigerian society, and all of a sudden, because they have risen to the top, that they can speak through the mouth of the government.
He's working. He's working for his principle. He's doing his job.
They have become more intelligent. Look, Canada. I just liken this fuel situation to. Sorry, Adiwo. So I liken this fuel situation to a woman, a mother that has refused to cook for her children in the house. You have utensils, you have foodstuffs, you refused to cook. You decided you resorted to buying fast food for them. All of a sudden you come, you tell them that you can no longer buy fast food because it has become too expensive. You can no longer maintain it. You can no longer manage it. Then get into the kitchen and cook. We have everything for you to produce fuel. So it's either you cook or you keep buying the fast food.
Okay.
Instead of subsidy or nothing, they should go back to subsidy. Thank you, Kalatan.
Okay, you keep calling me that name. But thank you all the same for your time. Yes, because the simplest, the easiest way out, some have said, is to just get the refineries working. So what's that? How big, how tall an objective is that, or a target is that, or a thing to do? Why don't you just get this thing working? So this complaint about scarce foreign exchange, the difficulty in acquiring it or accessing it, all this will be gone in the blink of an eye. But as I always like to say, it is deliberate. Wait and see. The president has told us that by December, the Port Harcourt refinery will be up and running. They've been telling us these stories for years now. Let's wait and see. But I tell you, I'll be shocked. I will not tear my international passport, but I'll be shocked if it comes into stream by December. Hello.
Prince Ajibo.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Chijoke calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, Chijoke.
I would have said it's highly regrettable. I don't know how we get to this place. In fact, we don't say we don't have leader, but we have ruler in this country. Are you telling me that it's not on the agreement? It's not that they are using all these confusion theories to confuse. They are telling me that even the marketers and the federal government, they are working hand to hand. Leave all these things. We are even talking of the current price now. They should bring it back to 200 naira. These people can give one refinery without even contemplating of increasing price of fuel. And they're telling us because of their failure, they're not part the economic burden, the hardship on the citizens. And you want us to believe that it's only panacea to solve economic problems is to even increase the price to 1,000 or 700. When have you obtained this kind of anti-policy of the anti-people's policy in the country like where lots of things, unemployment, poverty are ravaging the citizens? In fact, it's quite unfortunate. I wish we don't have more organized than this what we stand and say. Yeah.
Maybe. All right, thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah, but if this continues, if this goes on like this, and you have these complaints of over accessing foreign exchange and the continuous devaluation of the naira, you'll be shocked. Or well, do not be shocked, do not be surprised to say in another 3 or 4 months when the federal government comes up to say, oh, this past 3 months we've been subsidizing the pump price of petrol by 200 naira or 300 naira. You actually should have been buying it for 1,000 naira. Do not be surprised. It could just come to that. One call and then we'll move on. Hello? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon to
you. Prince Ajubo. You know, the president...
Tell us your name first, your name and location.
Prince Ajubo, my name is Lawson. I'm calling from Yenegua.
Okay.
The president told us that there will be no more increment. NNPC repeated same thing. The marketers, independent hitman also spoke yesterday telling us the same thing. That there will be no more increment. Now, in simple economic sense, tells you that a deregulated product you cannot control the price at all. The price can either go up and it can come down. And the president also said he will never go back to subsidy anymore. Yes, he made it clear. So how are they going to do this? It's what even me as I am at a loss. I tell you the truth.
Okay.
I'm at a loss. How will they do it? Because he made it very clear, and they even showed some statistics across African countries, and Nigeria was the lowest in terms of the cost price.
Yes.
Yes, the cost. Nigeria was the lowest. So but I don't know. Simple economics tells us that price can go up or down when it comes to market forces. But how will they do it? It's what even me, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, because I will want to think that they want to smuggle subsidy back into the system, but he made it clear that there will be no going back to a lot of
all right.
So let's see how they are going to do this one. But I tell you, we will need some kind of magic here, Prince Ajiba. I tell you, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, Nigerians forget easily, but I know something like this has happened before. Subsidy was taking off and somehow it crept back in. We didn't know how. But let's move on to our second story. As part of efforts to combat crime and make Rivers State safe for residents and investors, the Rivers State Police Command has flagged off Operation Zero Crime in the state. The one-week program initiated by the State Commissioner of Police, Mwonye Emeka, is aimed at ensuring safe environment across the 23 local government areas of the state, as well as return confidence in the police. The coordinator of the program, Kate Ezibo, said the State Police Command is in partnership with the Rivers State Council of Nigerian Union of Journalists, Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, comedians, hoteliers, and corporate organizations in the state to ensure that the state is safe. Today FM reports that other organizations involved in the planning of the program include Nollywood actors, legal and medical practitioners, and lecturers. Ezibo said the one-week event will feature a roadwork, workshop, medical outreach by the Commissioner of Police, an essay competition, beauty pageant, Queens and Kings, football competition, and a concert. According to the statement, the Commissioner of Police, his management team and officers will embark on stop and search, present gifts, items, and visit major flashpoints to educate youths on why they should shun crime and live a responsible and crime-free life. Ezibo also revealed that the police boss will initiate an amnesty program which will provide an opportunity for those involved in crime to denounce and lay down their weapons and be reintegrated into the society. Talking point, yes, going by all of this, what do you make of it? And to what extent do you think this will initiate, and this initiative can go towards reducing crime and insecurity in the state? Understand all what he said. If we start from top, he has said a whole lot of things, okay? Initiating, and talk about Operation Zero Crime in the state. I think we've had other such stuff in the past, especially during a military era, okay? To what extent did that go towards reducing crime? And then amnesty too for cultists and criminals. What do you make of that? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Police, they say that they want zero tolerance in the River State.
Yes, they've launched off Operation Zero Crime in the state. They flagged off Operation Zero Crime.
Of 9 o'clock, let me say 10 o'clock.
Okay, he's gone. You may have to call back. Sorry about that. Hello?
Good afternoon, my brother. I want to remain anonymous, please.
Okay, anonymous, go ahead.
Okay, yes, Operation Zero Crime, for me, is a welcome development. But not just saying about it, but not doing it. They should be proactive towards ensuring that there will be zero crime in the society.
This one is proactive. It's being proactive now, isn't it?
Yes, being proactive. Yes, I know why. Being that at times things will be happening around you where there are police officers within the area, and you will not see them. You see them doing nothing. Instead of doing something, they will, even when you report to police, look at what is happening around here. They will just ignore you. They will concentrate in collecting money from the motorists and what have you. Like, yes, for instance, like what is happening along trending by this Leme Junction flyover, whatever. There are those boys you see are standing